So let's start looking at the campaign for the Widows with this new update. So as you can see, standard screen, but it's a fair few changes. So we're to start with a nice simple one, which is the commandments. So these have been changed, and as you can see, I'll just go through them on the screen as I speak. These are various commandments you can assign to every single region you own, and as you there's an option here. This shows you how much of author you own. So I only own 2 provinces, namely Orc Rages and the King's Grade. And as this gradually increases, you get more bonuses. I'll just click on that to show you there. So once you hit the maximum, that's the maximum. Much quicker research rate. Construction time of the Orc Rages is dropped, and some more winds of magic, etc., etc. And that's obviously scales. So you can choose that for every region. Also, while on the subject of the Orc Rages, if I click on the Orc Rages now, you see it's changed quite a lot since the vanilla version. Venris and his team have put quite a lot of effort into this update, and as you can see, there's not much amber going on here. The reason for this is amber's not as much as a issue it is as in the vanilla. I'll come back to that in a minute. So first thing you're going to notice is how much it costs. That's 20,000, and it takes 20 turns to build. And then each case costs a bit more to build. Now when I've played my playthrough, and I'll show you how far I'm getting later on in this video, it's not much of a problem, and there's bonuses to decrease this. So as you can see, that's 80 turns. Sounds a bit ridiculous, but there's lots of tech you can change and lots of things you can do to improve the speed of that. So that's the Orc Rages, and all I can say about that is really it works pretty similar to the vanilla, but as you can see in that big red writing, Beastmen will sensors change. As soon as you complete each level, our units nearby will spawn of Beastmen. I think on the first one it's only 1, I think. The second level is definitely 2, and so forth and so forth. So I generally scale, so once you get close to completing that, be warned, as soon as that's built, so you soon you got to the next tier, you're going to have a Beastman invading you, so make sure you got your home base secured with some wood elves. Other than that, that is about it for that bit. So let's go into the King's Raid. So we've got a skill tree, building tree. A few of these have been changed, but here's all the usual recruitments. First thing you'll notice, and something which I approve of greatly, so I'm playing as Orion, and if you play vanilla, to make some of these units, you need amber. Amber's gone completely in SFO for purchasing units, which is a big plus. I always thought it was a bit stupid to waste such a viable resource on units. You should be free to build whatever armies you want with no restrictions from a silly thing like amber. Amber's still important, but maybe not as much as it was before. As you can see, you still need amber to upgrade your settlements. So that's all the usual units, and as these are the special buildings you can build. There's one for each region, and in this one you get the Ashen Hawks, which I've already been over in my unit video. So if we move over to the right, so those are the recruitment. Military support, so the forges that increase the recruitment cost, decrease the recruitment cost, and upkeep. Living Forest, this increases its spirit. This one's for tree spirits. And we move over. We got the guard platform, the garrison, forest walls, Grove of Yorek. So that's where you get your war dancers, as we spears, and the Shadowdancer. And I'll go back to the skill tree towards the end of this video, well, at some point in this video. Moving on, another special resource, Trapper's Den, Undergrowth Yokeouts, much the same as it is before. Grapevine is exactly the same as before. Craftsman Tree, Public Order, pretty similar. Bauhaus, increasing the grapevines, must have in every single settlement, I would say. Elven Hero's Hut, some more resources, income, yada yada yada. Elven Court, and then you got your Amber Crater. I found, and you see in my playthrough, as you expand, as you confederate, which by the way is exactly the same as you would in the vanilla state, so you need to get to level 3 in the Orc Rages. Amber can be a bit of a problem, depending on how many settlements you got, so that is probably a must-have in each settlement, I would say. And then you finally got the Temple of Kurnus, Temple of Ephakral, Afanamar, and Temple of Isha. So, as I said, these are in every single one, and these also unlock the Wardens of the Wild Elven Council positions. So in this case, Warden of the Wildwood. And so that's all it is to say about the building tree. So here we are with the new involved tech tree. So this is very substantial. If you've played SFO with Chaos, you notice how much tech work you put into Venris' team put into that tech tree. This is similar. So this part is pretty similar, as far as I can see, to what you have usually. Maybe some of these have been slightly changed. I can't remember the vanilla tech tree off the top of my head, I have to admit. But feel free to have a look at this when you load it up. But let's scroll over and we'll find the first update. So this is all linked to the Oak of Ages. So as you unlock each level, so as obviously I've got the level 1 at the moment, I can research this. Takes 10 turns and wins the magic cost minus 10% for your life. Then you can expand and add cleansing seeds or entangling barricades. Each cost amber, and all of this costs quite a bit of amber to research. So this is where the amber comes into its own. You have to balance your amber production with what these you actually want to use at any particular time. So we've got the Mighty Stump, and as soon as you have this one, you get Call of the Wild. During forest battles, summon a unit of Dryads. That's usually based around this your Otherland settlement. So that's available to you to use if you need it. And if memory serves, off the top of my head, it can be summoned when one of your own units is below half health. You can then summon this unit on top of them, and off you go. And then they just become another unit so you can use. So it's training with Bark. I think the first set of skills are not particularly massive. That's quite nice, I would say, and that's not bad, but not sold on a few of them. So next one up is Trunk of Iron, and this increases your ability. I think you get that and that ability if memory serves. So you get a unit of Shrieking, very nice. And you got Core of Oak, Nature's Garden. Core of Oak is very good. That's a good ability. Recruiting can be a bit annoying if you haven't got any recruitment capacity. Nature's Guardian, standard type of thing. Protective Wards, Attrition. Always find Attrition very handy to get, so that's definitely worth the price. Nourishing Life, always handy. Would always have a tendency to take out your Osses if you're not careful with them. They're very weak in attack, but very powerful. They can cause a lot of damage very quickly. But if they get hit themselves, they tend to use quite a lot of health. Next level, even. Oak of Ages, Thriving. The drawers below, that's just an explosion of memory serves. Excuse me. Training amongst the bows, so you got better XP, gain per turn. Nice batch of XP actually, 750. As you can see, these are getting better and better as you go up. All characters, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. Very powerful. Construction cost, very handy. You do quite a lot of building after you run. What I have noticed though, when you confederate with the other elven races, or the other elven regions, they usually have their building tree pretty much maxed out. It's usually every 5, depending when you take it, obviously. But in my case, every one I took was maximum level. So that's not a... It's handy unless you go to war with your fellow Red Elves, then that could be very, very good. Next is Whisper of the Eaves, Ambush Defense. And lastly, Canopy of the Great Oak. This is you summon a tree man unit. And then you got quite a lot of branches here. I presume that's pun intended. Vanguard deployment to own armies faction wide. Very powerful. Campaign inner sight. Very good. Fire resistance. Not too bad, but 15 amber. Not convinced. That's not too bad. Again, not worth 15 amber, I'm not sure. Maybe. Wins match cost minus 25%. Very good. Always a good thing to decrease out mage spells, mage costs. Causes attrition to enemy armies within your territory. Very powerful. So when you start expanding, that will help you. Construction time minus 100% for all buildings. Very powerful indeed. But once you get to that stage, would you be expanding as much? Possibly not. I think that's when you, depending on how quick you can get this up, the canopy of the Great Oak up, I don't think that's as powerful as you may think. It's definitely handy though. But not so sure about that one. And lastly, extra armour in foreign territory. So if you're expanding quite aggressively, that's very good to have. Any extra armour for Wood Elves units is very good. And nope, we're not finished yet. The last one. And this is Waystones. Talk more about that on the next section. When I expand a bit more on the campaign. But ignoring that. So these all require buildings to be unlocked. So these have to be built for you to use it. And all you need is these Waystones, which again I'll come back to in a bit. So all these have got various bonuses and a nice little map of Athair Island. Very nicely done. So some of these are good, some are alright. That's quite powerful if you're running out of Dryads, obviously. I think it's a mixed batch really. I quite like that one because I like my Waywatchers, one of my favourite units. War Dancers, that's very good. War Dancers is one of the main attacking units you have. Some more of these are, as you see, the Wildwood, so these are all themed around Athair and what they tend to bring these particular regions. Torgran, more melee attack, they're very famous for attacking units. Terrason, Stork for all cavalry, eagle and hawk units. Now that is powerful. That is really powerful. Cathil, melee defense and ammunition for Grey Guard units. More ammo, more arrows. What can you say for Wood Elves? You need that in your life. And enables regeneration on Wildwood Rangers. Very powerful indeed. They're a very good unit. Unbreakable for returning guard units. Again, very handy. I like the returning guard units. It's cheap and a good backbone to any front line. So that's really good. And a bit of bonus versus yard as well. Very nice. Lastly, Noxious Crowd deals massive damage in AoE to Forest Dragon units. So it enables the ability of this Noxious Crowd for Forest Dragon units. Very expensive Forest Dragons. But BigfooT, when you unlock him, can get them really cheaply, as in almost half. A good 25% off, I think, in memory serves. So that's very good in that instance. And he also has abilities in his tech tree, or skill tree, to develop that fast more. So there you go. That is the Wood Elves tech tree. So we're back on the campaign map, and let's go over some more features of this update, the Wildwood update. So first thing to look at is the Geomantic web. Now, if you played Warhammer 2 with the Isabin, this is in vanilla, but Venris and his team have added it to the Wood Elf update. So it works pretty much the same way as Isabin. So you've got various places you can go to expand your Geomantic web. Like in this case, you can go left to the Castle Carolingia, and from there I think you go down to the left and up north. So you can either expand into the Bretonians or expand eastwards, go to the various, I think it's the one that's by default held by the dwarves there, I can't remember, is it Ironhammer? Yeah, I'm sure you know what you mean. Yeah, him. So that is just adds more strength to your ink, and if I quickly look in here, then you can see the various things to the ink strength. So when you command over Athair, this will be at maximum for that, and then you can expand and increase the Geomantic web and get more bonuses as you go along. So that's a quick look at the Geomantic web. Next, Midwinter Rites. So these are based on which you already choose, either BigfooT or in this case Orion. So you get different ones depending who you take. And you've got cost, so it's cost gold. The waystones. So this is how you. This is one of the uses you've used for waystones. Like you saw in the tech tree, which was the previous part. Waystones can be used here as well to fund all these basic rites. And each one obviously do their own bonuses. Like you got research rate 100% plus growth, campaign things like leadership, melee attack, etc., etc. Some spell things, untainted plus 10, which is very good, and public order, constant casualty repairs plus 5. So each one of these have a 5 turn cooldown and 15 turns effect generation. That's after it's completed, obviously. And there's various things that affect this. The seasons will affect it, as well as some of your abilities. Some of the seasons make it more expensive in some cases, so just be aware of that. Just make sure you don't go madly quick on it and spend a lot of money when you don't need to, unless you're desperate for that particular rite. And last week, but not least in this section, we've got the offers. So this is pretty similar to how it worked before. You might have some bonuses which are different, but the basic premise is exactly the same. If you want to get trade with non-widow factions, you need Trickster's Mask, which is in Durfu's hand. Durfu at top has got that building you need to build, and each one of these is in an individual building in that particular region. So if you have to go that region first, either by Confederation or by, well, taking it yourself, and that's how you get them. So there's the various things. I'll just hover over them quickly. I've always liked that one. Plus 20 to the Eternal Guard units, very handy. And Arsenal Yeast, Protector of the Oak. So that's the officers. And that's another quick look at some more features of the campaign. So when you expand out and start taking over settlements, in Vanilla you only had very few building options, but in SFO you got a fair few more, so let's have a quick look at that. So these are the options you can have when expanding your settlement. And as you can see, the first thing that struck me, there's no basic garrison for any of these buildings. So it's exactly the same for the small regions. So you have obviously the 2 tier, you got the 3 and the 4, which is, I think, well, 5, 3 and 5, sorry. And you can actually build units outside of Atheruan now. So you got all the choices. Not cheap to build by any stretch of imagination, but you can do it. But you can't make any of the majors. You got resources, so if the area's got a resource, you can build that as well. Undergrowth for your accounts. Hopefully get rid of that pesky Skaven. And one thing I did want to mention, as I mentioned before, there's no garrison for building the basic settlements like you would in a normal settlement. This, whatever you choose here, creates a garrison, as you can see. So if you build a Shadowdancer camp, you get your other unit capacities, and you get the garrisons, War Dancers, Valzy Spears, and 2 Deepwood Scouts. So depending on what you build, is what garrison you get. So your garrison is never going to be massive. It's only going to be quite small, which is a bit of a shame, really. So when you get to that level, you get grant 4 and 5. So the maximum you can have is 5 construction slots. So you have to plan accordingly, which makes it a bit difficult to expand, I would say, but not impossible. You just have to choose which particular area you want, or which particular what you want from that province, and secure it before you move on. And you do have a Mage Forest. You also got Thrashing Branches. All these again provide various boosts. So it's up to you what you try to build. It can be quite difficult. Trying to keep hold of these settlements can be a bit challenging, but I found the garrisons inside of the UN, and this is a huge army, are very powerful, and they can defend themselves quite well. And I actually have 1 or 2 armies at the back there just to roam about. Don't have to be massive, just to protect your home ground. And then you've and have your other armies expanding out. And just to finish this off, got advanced patrols, foraging groves, alot growth, forbidden pool, and unicorn yake, because obviously amber grade. So there's another way to get you more amber back, and of course it does cost amber to expand the settlement. Whether you need to go to the maximum is dubious, but you do get cash as well, of course, so that's quite handy. So there you are, that's what happens when you expand. So I've just recruited a Shadowdancer so we can have the skill tree for them. So this is obviously a brand new one, brand new hero, which I went over my unit guide. And at the bottom, pretty much the same type of thing. Nothing that exciting, the usual things. Even though that is pretty damn handy. Tough as nails, intimidating, hero, retinue bad, established combatant, so esteemed combatant, apologise. So it's got a bit more melee defence. They haven't got bad melee defence, so it's not too bad. And retinue trainer, so a nice bit of handing up the skills and training. So what else have we got up here? So if you remember from if you've seen my other video, they have various abilities which are linked to this type of thing. So these are shadow abilities. So how do you get them? So first of all, we have Trickster, cooldown on -3%, Runemaker, protected by Yorick, and Shadow Fusion. So that's a Shadow Fusion. That's doubling up like the high elf you ordered. I can't remember his name of. Alphanar? Sounds right. We'll go with Alphanar. Another thing, I haven't actually done much praying with the Shadowdancers as of yet. I don't think I've actually recruited one. So I just thought, sake of completion, I've just put that skill tree in so everybody can have a quick look at it. So onwards, more cooldown on the Shadowdancer abilities. Dark Deeds, that's quite handy. Devastating Charge and Whirling Death. Really cool ability that is. And we can also go to Misdirection. Again, cooldown. Elusive, bit more melee defense. Shadows Fall. That is quite cool. I like that. And Wolf of Mist. You pretty much outrange pretty much every single shooty army anyway. Well, obviously apart from the artillery, but that is really good. I like that ability. Adds to Wolf of Mist. Let's go along the top. Pop. More cooldown, but income post battle use 5%. Free at foot, get that speed up. Deadly Braid, Solar Braid, so that's the finisher move I would like to say. Very powerful ability, as you just see there. Elusive, more cooldown, thick skinned, bit more armour. Elusive, because 40 is not going to go very far. Then again, that maxed out is going to be just under 50. I presume, no, 15. Oh, it's not too bad then. 55. It's not too bad. Elusive, and then the Shadow's Coil, adding much more melee defense. And the last three, but no wings east, across the top, some more hit points. Swift, give you Vanguard, always handy in a Wood Elf army. I do like my ambushing. Shadows everywhere, so you get Stalk, Travel all paths, and finally Immortality. So, and that's the Shadowdancer tree. And now we'll jump to my campaign which I'm doing at the moment. So to round this video off, I'm going to talk about my campaign which I'm currently playing at the moment. I usually do this with most of my playthroughs, just have a campaign going in the background where I used to test stuff and of course just to play the mod. So in this case, I started off with Orion, who actually just died recently. If you see Irma video, I was showing off the various bonuses you get when you establish a new settlement. And unfortunately, Skaven didn't take kindly to this and took it back, and now they are here with a nice 3-stack. So yeah, a battle is going to ensue, I think. Anyway, back to the old campaign. So, start to confederate the rest of the Atheron. And this is one of my main goals when playing Wood Elves. I always had to get my base sorted. Get Atherin all under my control through Confederation. I don't really go to war with Wood Elves because, I don't see the point. So, here's Durfu, Mirror's army. Just wanted to show you off the armies while I'm thinking about it. So you've got this is mainly the army the computer actually created. I did a Forest Dragon because Forest Dragon, and he's cheap, only 258 under Durfu, which is a bargain. A few cheap Grey Guards, a Way Watcher, a good funny iron of Treekin, an Eagle for taking out archers and hassling artillery. Sister Thorn, I still think I'll change this a bit. I might add a couple more units. Needs a bit more, maybe some meat in the funny iron, not sure. So we got another 2 armies here. This is Duroc. I think this is that mine, or is this the one? No, Dave was mine. Yeah, it was this one. That was one I created. Maybe a bow-centric build with a strong front line with the 8 units of Winterhurt Guards, Branch Wraith, and a Waystalker. I think I got Waystalker in pretty much all my armies. And finally, we got Dave here, who's got a Waystalker. This is more melee focused, and I try to focus that on. I try to have a couple of armies which are balanced-ish, as much as I can anyway. And all these, when I confederated with all these, they're all maximum they were, so they're all level 5, which is very handy. My own price got raided by somebody. Don't think it was a Skaven. I think it was a Vampire Coast actually. I had a bit of a run-in with Saratosa quite a lot, who are actually down here, taking over most of the southern realms here. And yeah, it's been a bit of an interesting campaign so far. Only turn 85. And while I think about it, to unlock the various legendary units, there is one here if memory serves. Yes. Varus Champion. Take about 8 turns to actually recruit. So yeah, that's a bit of an investment. And of course they're not cheap. How much were they actually? So quick look. Yeah, 560. It's not too bad. They are a legendary unit. And in the King's Grade you also have the Ashen Hawks. So that's the other legendary units. And that's where you get your Grove Guardians in the same similar price. So that's just a thing. And those are all for unlocking the various counter positions, of course. Which I think I mentioned before. In any case, a few more things on the campaign itself. There's various seasons. So you got summer coming in after your end. So this every, I think it's 6 turns, something like that. You get various bonuses and various reductions or costs increases. Like this, in this case, Midwinter Nights, Midwinter Rites even, plus 500% cost. So that makes these very expensive, as you can see. I think I've covered pretty much everything now in the campaign, and so that's just my campaign at the moment. Oh, of course, yes, one more thing. Throughout the campaign, Venris and his team have created various options. So, big window pop up with a bit of lure, and there'll be 4 choices, and you just choose which one you want. Each one costs about 4 amber each, and you just choose which one you want. So in this case, I've taken Whispering Spirits, a bit of research rate, well, plus 50% research rate is very good. Some have got cheaper units, some have got better influence, things like that, better waystone generation, things of that nature. And as you can see, money is not a problem at the moment, but I've only just basically secured this turn 70-ish. I think I've secured the entire, so I've just built up some things I needed. I had a major problem with amber at the time. I was actually running out of quite a long reduction, so I've had to boost that up so I can expand more. So that's what I'm doing at the moment with various, I can't remember which one it is. It's that one, isn't it? Yeah. Amber Wildwood. So I'm building that up in all the settlements at the moment. There's one to be built there. Actually, when I think about it, let's do that now. Boom. And boom. Perfect. So yeah, and that is my campaign. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next one.